computer. So Kaz, why did you join the Fierce Emporium?
Because I was a work robot. And I remember I was recommended by a friend, but I remember when I met you and when I had the first conversation, when I described my current role, and then when I sort of described the bits that are good about the current role, you talked to me instantly about my body language. And it was like, when I was talking about the kind of what was the robot role, it was like, oh. And when I talked about what I love to do, which was much more authentically me, you said it, you're like, oh, you're alive. It's like you're a different person. So for me, it was like, how do I get out of the robot world that I ended up in? And I can be very frank about that. That was definitely pandemic changed. But I also think, as with anything, loads of systems, processes along the way, that transformation from human to machine, which was what I was feeling like, just happened more and more and more and more. So I didn't want that to be my daily life, because I'm definitely not a robot.
No, you are not.
A robot brain. So it was a weird world to be in.
Brilliant.
So that was my motivation. And that was February 2022 that I first had that conversation.
Brilliant. And what were your hesitations, if any, about joining the Fierce Emporium?
I think the midlife unstuck, it's almost like coming to terms with, oh God, I'm that person. It's me. Oh no. So I was sort of trying to process that. But also, I suppose I knew I had to do something, because this feeling of the robot wasn't just February 2022. It had been creeping up, and particularly for 2 years in the pandemic. So I knew I needed some kind of structure to help me navigate something other. And I knew I wanted something other. And I'm very motivated as a person, but I recognized in all the kind of things I'd thought about and all the ideas I had, for example, that I just wasn't able to navigate that on my own.
Perfect. And what have been some of your personal highlights from your time in the Emporium?
So, I mean, I've absolutely loved the structure of meeting and having, albeit the online, I've loved that, because it's been shared, and hearing that other people, no matter how you might see them as, successful or whatever they're feeling, it was a really honest and transparent space. So for me, that's been really, really important. I've struggled to keep up with the homework. So I think and I think what I know and what you perhaps know is that I'm the person who's the slow change, which is why the idea of the year is what really attracted me beyond the kind of intense sort of weekly aspects. So
lovely, fantastic. And what are some of your biggest takeaways from the things that you learned, or any of the insights that you had? Are there one or two big takeaways that will help your future?
I think if I look sort of now, and I've got what I call my Fierce Emporium pouch, which I carry with me, and it's got all the kind of notes and the different things that I've printed. And I think what it is that I really reflected, and I think that's the amazing thing that you don't do in daily life, because you're so busy going forward, you don't stop. So I think for me, pausing, reflecting, and sometimes even now, like I will just get out some notes and I'll kind of go, oh, superpowers. Yes, I need to remember that. And it's like a whole new mindset. Mindset shift.
Yeah. Lovely. And does your future look or feel any different today?
Well, it hopefully does, because as I mentioned, so I've been on this journey of change. So I think officially I started the first kind of section of the course in about April, and it was amazing, because I was having like these light bulb moments. But of course, like everybody, you've got daily work and life to balance, and that's why for me, I'm definitely the slow change person. But I'm in the position now where through that journey of reflection and all the different conversations and all the different kind of aspects of the Emporium, I've really come to sort of clarity about elements of what I want to do. And for me, I think it's about variety is the spice of my life. So where I am today is my future sort of space, because I'm in a teaching studio. And I've been mainly in a virtual teaching studio, and what's hopefully going to change, not a whole part of my job, but I'm now going to have a 3-day week where I will be physically in a room with students doing what I love, which is teaching and creative development and working with real humans and being real. So I've come to terms with the window of the screen. I've also been kind of engaging with that, and I've done some experiments, as you know, in terms of using those skills, those superpowers, and doing some projects in the world, because I've had a sort of international travel world, which is now screen world. So I'm sort of in this really exciting stage where I've got a new opportunity to do real life 3 days a week. And then I'm just in the point of time where I'm navigating, is it doing something else 2 days a week, or is it lots of different projects, or is it some online, is it some physical? So what I feel is that I've very quickly changed. Like in February 2022, the routine of my day was just digital, spreadsheets, process. And that has changed. And even as you know, I've got the spreadsheet of love or spreadsheet of ideas. I've made a workshop about spreadsheets. So I've also changed, again, the mindset and psychology about things that I was finding really difficult. So I think that's really empowering, because I essentially got a new job, which is to be in the next few months. And the way I got that partially was through all the learnings of the Fierce Emporium, but also I did a workshop with students, which was part of the interview, using spreadsheets, fashion mathematics. So changing how I do things, changing how I see things, just turning negative into positive, or whatever that might be, has been like, that's the new me. I feel like that I can turn anything into something better, because I've got tools to do that. I'm sure the next, there's probably still going to be all that kind of, as we all know with life, bits of difficult stuff and bits of great stuff. But for me, wow, like if you could have predicted in February that by November that change in my robot life would be real, I don't think I would have predicted it. But yes, it's real, it's happening. So woo!
Fantastic. Oh, that's so exciting. Final question. What 3 words would you use to describe your time in the Fierce Emporium, or to describe the Fierce Emporium?
Yeah, and now I haven't planned these, and I should have, and I'm sorry about that. I think the one I'm going to use is it's transformative. You can hear that in terms of what I'm sharing today. It's really intense. It's my sort of, it's the kind of on my to-do list. It's like Fierce Emporium every week. So it's there, like in your brain, in your dreams. So yeah, it's intense. But I'm going to say, and this is a really weak word probably, but I just think it's really exciting now that it's created change. So yeah, change is maybe creative, exciting change is what I see as where I am now. And I'm not at the end of the road. I've still got another few months to keep exploring and to get through week 5, which I still haven't done. But yeah, change. It's definitely changed me. It's changed the way I see things, and it's led me to be really proactive in making change. So that's.
Thank you.